You may have noticed that you never see cashews sold in their shells, unlike other nuts. That's because cashew shells contain urushiol, which is a toxic substance. Urushiol is the same irritant that's found in poison ivy, and it can cause reactions like painful, itchy rashes, blisters, and burns. In extreme cases, contact with urushiol can even lead to a systemic allergic reaction, so it's definitely not something you want to mess around with. The cashews that you buy at the store labeled as raw have actually been heat-treated to neutralize the urushiol. If truly raw cashews were available at the grocery store, that would be a recipe for disaster. The need to remove this toxic shell has major effects on the global cashew trade and the people who work in the industry. In some places, shelling is still done by hand, which means that those workers are directly exposed to urushiol and the health risks that come with it. Even with protective gear, the job is still risky. The global demand for cashews has exploded recently, which puts pressure on producers to deliver more cashews faster and for less money. This often leads to poor working conditions, such as low wages, limited access to healthcare, and not enough safety training. When cashew prices drop, producers often have to cut costs to stay afloat, which frequently leads to even worse conditions for the workers. It's a complicated situation where the same process that makes cashews safe for consumers to eat is the very same process that puts workers at risk. There are potential solutions, though, and consumers can even play a role in making things better. One way is to buy fair trade certified cashews. When you see a fair trade certification, it means that the farmers and workers who grew and produced the cashews are paid a fair price for their products and their labor. Fair trade certification frequently includes requirements for environmental protection and community development as well. Another action consumers can take is to look for brands that are transparent about their supply chain and their commitment to ethical sourcing practices. Some brands go a step further by forming direct relationships with farmers and cooperatives. These direct trade relationships cut out the middleman and ensure fairer prices for producers, and this can result in higher quality products too. It can be harder to find these brands and their products, but it can be worth the extra effort. If you aren't able to find fair trade or direct trade options, another way to support a more sustainable cashew industry is by trying other kinds of nuts and seeds. Trying new nuts and seeds can help reduce the pressure on certain crops that have ethical concerns about their production. The sources emphasize that even small changes in our buying habits can have a real impact on the world. By being mindful of the products we buy, we can help create a fairer and more sustainable food system. The next time you're at the store and are thinking about buying cashews, consider all of the things we just talked about, including the challenging work that goes into getting those nuts to the grocery store shelves. Even seemingly simple choices can make a difference. By the way, did you know that the cashew nut itself is actually a seed that comes from a fruit called the cashew apple? The cashew apple is juicy and a bit tart, and it tastes like a mix of mango, pineapple, and bell pepper.